so much more happened leading up to Israel going in and conquering Canaan. The Israelites spent 40 years in the wilderness with Moses because of their rebellion and not going in when they should have, that their lack of faith in God and in his strength and in his ability to take these giants in the land that they saw. And so there are 3 more books in the Pentateuch that chronicle the development of Israel as a nation. You have Leviticus, where God gives his law to his people, helping them understand that he's holy and he wants them to be holy, and gives them details about how to do that, and explaining the sacrificial system of atonement. I want to try something a little bit different today.
Okay.
And I'm going to need your help and probably 2-3 other guys.
We need some crew.
We do.
Hey, Nolan, Ryan, you ready to help?
We could probably grab a sound guy.
Dan, do you want to step in on this? You might need to lose the camera.
Okay, so we need everybody to grab the largest rock they can grab.
I get the biggest one.
You get it? Because you're the biggest.
You strongest, all you weaklings. Okay, so we'll come out here and we're gonna set 6 points. So Stu, if you want to set yours right by that rock.
By the other rock.
This rock right here. Set it next to that.
I'm loving
We
this.
need to measure. Justin, you want to help me?
Yes, sir.
So 15 feet.
Right.
Right here. All right. Okay. And once we get these 4 down, so I need someone else to put a rock here. Dan is really close. He's been eyeballing it. Close. So from this point, we need to go forward about 45 feet. This little experiment is to kind of give us a visual of the size of the tabernacle.
If I understand our experiment correctly, what we've just done is we've laid out the tabernacle structure.
We have.
10 cubits wide, 30 cubits long.
So for feet, usually that's 15 by 45.
Okay, and this central area, it's a perfectly cubic measurement room. This is the most holy place. It's like the center, not just of the tabernacle, but this is central to the camp of Israel. God wanted it in the center.
Yeah, so even on the outside of the tabernacle complex, you had 3 tribes camping on each face.
And then
right?
actually you'd have it insulated by the Levites and the priests because
Correct.
God wanted a pure place to dwell amongst his people. The people needed a holy place that they could interact, a safe place they could interact with God.
Well, as he had demonstrated with the golden calf incident,
Right.
You know, he's a holy God, but these unholy people are doing things that if he were to live amongst them in his holiness, he would consume them.
So if we were to step in,
Right?
what would we see?
If we were to step in, we would see that curtain covering the Holy of Holies,
All right.
which is the focal point of the whole thing.
Okay.
And inside of that cubed room would be the Ark of the Covenant, which on top of that was called the mercy seat, which was essentially God's throne. That's where God's presence dwelt. And the high priest was the only one who could go in there, and only one day out of the year on the Day of Atonement.
So they don't hang out in here. This is
No.
a very special place where God lives with them, dwells with them, just before the veil, and kind of belonging to the most holy place.
You had the altar of incense.
Right, and the smoke would fill in so that the high priest, when he enters in, can't even see.
The idea goes back to the presence of God. With Mount Sinai, God came down and there was fire and lightning and smoke. And as you light incense and that incense permeates the room, it helps communicate the idea of God's presence being in the space.
So what's happening is Sinai is being recreated in the tabernacle. I didn't even think of that. Okay.
Even going back before Sinai, the orientation of the tabernacle on the compass.
Right, because it faces east. When the priests come in, they would come in facing west. And that goes back to the Garden of Eden. In fact, a lot of this imagery is Garden of Eden. But they're walking west because when Adam and Eve left the garden, they went east. When Cain killed his brother Abel, he goes east. So God's taking his people, his covenant people, and kind of bringing them back into this paradise dwelling with him. So over here, when you first come in to the left, would be like the tree, right? It's a lampstand, and then to the right would be the table of showbread.
Table of showbread. Even the ornamentation on the curtains and the ornamentation that was made out of metal,
Right.
all of it had garden imagery. And so you start the Pentateuch with Genesis and God creating everything, and he's in the garden with Adam and Eve.
And we've lost that.
We've lost the garden because of sin. We've lost that closeness of being in God's presence. And by the time you end the Pentateuch, God's provided a way to reconnect with his people. He's recreating a little bit of the garden.
So this isn't really just about organizing religion or organizing camp structure. This is really about symbolizing, recreating a presence with God.
Yeah.
So having this layout, it's a cool experiment. I like being able to visualize all this.
So it's super helpful to see how compact it is, but it communicated something really big.
We want a God who will tabernacle with his
Yes.
people.
Yes.
Cool.